In 2020, the world was a mess. Tours were canceled, music venues went quiet, a lot of bands went on pause. But AC/DC, well, they've never really followed the rules. Out of nowhere, they came roaring back with Power Up, an album that wasn't just another routine album. It was loud, had lots of riffs. It was a great tribute. It was a love letter. It was a farewell. It all started with a man who wasn't there to play on it, but he's on every note. A few years earlier, it looked like AC/DC was finished. Malcolm Young, the heart of the band, Angus's older brother, the guy who drove their sound for decades, was gone from the stage. In 2014, we found out he'd been dealing with dementia. It was heartbreaking to hear. For a band as tight as AC/DC, losing him was unthinkable. Malcolm was more than a guitarist. He was an engine, the steady, no-flash rhythm that made all those huge riffs work. By 2017, Malcolm had passed away. That alone could have been the end, but there was more. Brian Johnson had to leave in the middle of the Rock or Bust tour because of hearing problems. Phil Rudd had his legal troubles. Cliff Williams, the quiet anchor on bass, said he was retiring. One by one, the classic members of AC/DC were gone. The band finished the tour with Axl Rose singing, and honestly, a lot of us thought, okay, that's it. This is how it ends. Angus Young wasn't ready to walk away. Years before Malcolm's illness got bad, the two brothers had written a ton of music together. They weren't scraps or half-finished ideas. They were complete, strong riffs, the kind they were famous for. They had them stored away. After Malcolm passed, Angus went back and listened to those old recordings. These weren't B-sides or second-tier riffs. They were the kind of material that could have been on Back in Black or Powerage. Angus decided that if AC/DC was going to make one more album, it had to be built on Malcolm's riffs. That way, Malcolm could still be part of it in the most AC/DC way possible, through the guitar. So Angus started calling people. First Brian. His hearing was fixed with a new in-ear system that let him sing again without damaging his ears. Then Phil Rudd came back behind the kit. Cliff Williams returned on bass. Just like that, the lineup we knew and loved from the Back in Black days was in the same room again. Brendan O'Brien, who had produced Black Ice and Rock or Bust, came back to make it sound right. This wasn't going to be a half effort. It was going to be loud, full of energy, and most importantly, something Malcolm would have been proud of. This is a very important album for my channel because it's one of the first major new releases that I reviewed after I started my original channel, JC Rock and Metal Reviews. I think it came out maybe a month and a half after my first video. So it was one of those reviews that helped my channel take off. I bought this vinyl maybe a couple months afterwards. It's pretty cool. Has a bright red cover gatefold with all the members in a black and white photo. They use this photo technique. I think it's called multiplicity photo or something like that. On the back, the members in the silhouette with the song titles across the bottom here. Package features one record with an inner sleeve featuring some liner notes, amps, things like that, black and white photos. And then on the back, I'm going to show you a picture of it, but it says here, this one's for Mal, who is obviously Malcolm. And the black vinyl has one side where it's like Angus, the lightning bolt on the other side. And there's some text on it. I'm not sure if it's song titles. It's really small print. I couldn't see it. But anyway, that's my vinyl. I'm going to continue now with the story. The album kicks off with Realize. Right away, it's pure AC/DC. Tight riffs, driving beat. Brian sounds like he hasn't lost a step. Then there's Shot in the Dark, which was the lead single. It's got that swagger that only AC/DC can pull off. Simple, catchy, and built to be played loud. But the track that really gets me is Through the Mist of Time. It's not your typical AC/DC song. It's still got the big riffs, but there's this bittersweet feeling to it. Brian sings about looking back, about memories that fade but never really leave. I can't help but think it was inspired by Malcolm. Not sad exactly, more like grateful. Like they're saying, we remember you, and we're still here because of you. That's the thing about Power Up. Even though it's tied to loss, it doesn't sound mournful. It's loud, it's fun, it's full of life. It's like the band was saying, if this is the last time we do this, we're going out swinging. Songs like Demon Fire and Kick You When You're Down are pure energy. You could tell they weren't trying to reinvent themselves. They were doing what they've always done best, and that's exactly what Malcolm would have wanted. When Power Up dropped in November 2020, the world was still in lockdown. Live shows were still off the table, and yet this album hit #1 in 21 countries. People were blasting it at home, on headphones, in their cars, anywhere they could. It wasn't just about nostalgia. It was about hearing a band that's been around for nearly 50 years, still sounding fresh, and still sounding like they have something to prove. For me, Power Up is more than a good AC/DC record. It's proof that even after everything, the losses, health problems, the drama, they can still come together and make something that rocks from front to back. Also a reminder of what Malcolm Young meant to the band. His style, his precision, his ear for the perfect riff. It's all over this album, even if he's not physically there. So is Power Up AC/DC's most emotional album? I think it is, not because it's slow or sad. It's not. But because every note, every riff, every shout from Brian is tied to a man who built this band from the ground up. And maybe that's why it feels so good to drop the needle on the vinyl and let it spin. Because you're not just hearing a record, you're hearing a legacy. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what your favorite track is and if you got any good stories about how Malcolm's music impacted you. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more rock and metal reviews and deep dives. I got a ton more content and a lot more coming your way. So I will see you in the next one.